Hello again. Today I want to talk about breathing deeply. So for many of us, breathing deeply is a concept in our mind that we feel like we know we should be breathing deeply. And yet oftentimes our deepest breaths come when we're either exercising or really pushing our heart rate where we need to move a lot of oxygen in our bodies. When we consciously breathe and consciously turn to breathing deeper, whether we're exercising or not, what we notice often is that we feel better. We feel more awake, more alive, less in our thinking mind. More breath as well brings greater awareness into our bodies, our soma. And when we have access to our soma or our bodies from the sense of listening from the inside out, it gives us information as to what we might need. Not just, do I need to eat? Am I hungry or to drink? But also, how am I feeling? Where am I holding my body from an energetic, emotional place right now? And how can I shift and create a shift in my life in this moment, to feel better? So when we bring more breath in, it has so many benefits. Today, I want to just show you some really simple, basic ways to help to bring more breath into your body, okay? So the most important and first and foremost is to remember that it's okay that you catch yourself finding yourself to be breathing shallowly or holding the breath or forcing the exhale. We all have breath patterns that are subconsciously ways that we've learned to adapt to live in our life to feel the most safe or the most familiar. But in order to create change, we have to break out of some of our more conditioned patterns. And that includes, if we're shallow breathers, to breathe deeper. So the first thing to know about breathing deeper is that it begins actually with the exhale. So our exhale needs to fully release, really fully relax, fully let go, in order for us to have then an access to a deeper breath. So you notice here, if I just say, just take a deep breath. Just notice the volume as you breathe in through the nose. Come back again to that deep breath. You can even bring your hands to your belly and your heart. Just notice how much breath you can receive. Good. Now I want you to take one more deep breath. And then I want you to exhale it out. I want you to just let yourself rest at the bottom of your exhale, as long as you can. You could even squeeze the navel in a little bit, squeeze a little bit more air out, a little bit more air out, a little bit more air out. And when you're ready, no rush, when you're ready, take a deep breath again. Do you notice the difference? So much more room. So finding ways to fully compress or release the exhale all the way out is a good way to get yourself jump-started to take a deep, full breath. The next is to play with where the breath comes in, all right? So right now, at that last exercise, I showed you breathing in through the nose, breathing out the mouth. Just notice the volume. Now I want you to purse your lips, breathing in as if you're sipping in air through a straw. And exhale out the mouth. You may even feel a little buzzy, a little tingly, a little more awake and alive from that increased level of oxygen. So pursing the lips in that way helps to create a better channel for the breath to come in to take a fuller breath. As does taking a breath in and out the mouth. So breathing in again, but this time with a relaxed mouth. You can sometimes also get a deeper breath. That said, a more natural breath that we want to follow on the most of the time is breathing in and out the nose. This helps to filter the air, warms the blood. However, when we're needing a little big boost of breath, we exhale, remember, to all the way out, letting all the breath in, sipping the air in. Good. The last thing is education. So knowing that our breathing capacity is not just in the lower region. So often, I know for myself as a breathwork coach. I talk a lot about belly breathing, the importance of coming back into the belly to breathe. But it's more than that. It's more than just feeling the diaphragm draw down or feeling the effects of the diaphragm draw down to the belly expand. That is really important. That's a big part of our breathing, is the diaphragm moving and the belly expanding. But there's a whole second part. So if you can imagine, when you breathe in, the diaphragm draws down, the belly expands all the way down to the perineum. That's the first part of our breath. But the second part is that the lungs and the ribs expand laterally. There's a lift in the middle chest, pretty much from the navel to the chest line. So those are the two big parts of the breath, but then there's a third one, which is really, in my experience, is the one that gets us kind of over the hump, especially of either compression of our thinking or chronic shallow breathing, especially with the rolling of the shoulders that so many of us tend to do. And the third part is really from the chest line to the throat. So this last little bit, what's considered like a clavicular lift of the breath, will help to give you a little bit more breath. So let's just play with that last time, and then we'll wrap up this short video on how to get some more energy and breath into your body. So the first is breathing in through the nose into the lower part, the middle part right on top, and then the upper part, and then exhale. And now let's just compress at the bottom. Wait. A little squeeze even of the navel, just for a moment. When you're ready, again, breathe in. Feel the diaphragm draw down. Mid-chest lift and expand. Upper chest lift. Exhale. Exhale, just relax. It's just gravity. And now let's do that 2 more times. The next one, breathing in through pursed lips. Last time in an open mouth. Exhaling. Good. And notice how you feel. More breath brings more awareness. More breath can help to create more vivid colors of awareness, as well as help us to have a little bit more connection to our purpose in this moment of where we need to go. From our somatic, deeper knowing and understanding of what's the best and highest good for us and next. All right, I hope this little video was helpful and short. Let's keep supporting each other to breathe deeply today. All right, have a great day. Bye.